Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from the Goodfellows Club in East Chicago as Ed Jenkins, candidate for Lake County Sheriff, presents live video coverage of the Dogs and Suds East Chicago Athletic Hall of Fame fundraiser. I'm Cam Later. Alongside me is Zach Miller. Good evening, Zach. These events are always so much fun. You get to bask in the glory days. You also get to meet and talk with a lot of cool people.
Yes, Kevin, events like this, like you said, are so awesome because we get caught up in the day and day here on the Region Sports Network where we're covering games, covering live events, and the athletes that we're grateful to cover in the now. But it's also so important to remember our history, especially in a place here like East Chicago where, frankly, I'd argue it may not be as rich anywhere else in the region.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. We have so many fun guests lined up for you. We've already spoken to a couple of guests as well. We're excited to show you those interviews and those conversations throughout our show today. I like the point that you just made, though, of all of the region schools and kind of greater areas. Like you made the point, East Chicago is right there with the best of them, if not the best that there is.
Yes, I'm telling you what, you think about the big three, especially here in North Lake County. You think of Hammond, you think of East Chicago, and you think of Gary. So much illustrious history, but especially here in East Chicago, between really the four high schools you want to think of between Roosevelt, Washington, then East Chicago Central, and Bishop Knoll, you have a litany of incredible players throughout their illustrious histories.
Yeah, I mean, just going through some of the trivia questions. Chris Ramirez is off camera right now. He's with us. He was quizzing us earlier, and the trivia that you can go with and you can create for high school sports fans, even beyond high sports, just sports fans in general based off of East Chicago high school athletics is truly, truly impressive. He stumped me. I don't know. I mean, you got one of them. I got stumped on the one I got.
Yes, I'm telling you. Well, I'll tell you what. If you stay with Chris Ramirez long enough and talk to him about region sports, you're going to get stumped pretty quickly because there is not a single guy in the area you're going to find that. I mean, there's a reason he's the owner of the Region Sports Network. I mean, that guy knows more about it than anybody. But that's what happens as well here at East Chicago. There's just so many great names, so many great teams, so many great coaches, so many great administrators. I mean, great all the way down the line. You're going to get something done because I'll tell you what, man, there is just. It's crazy the amount of greatness that comes here from East Chicago.
Yeah, we have so much fun conversations lined up, like I just said. One guy who might rival CR in his high school sports and his region sports knowledge is the coach Leroy Marsh. We're going to get him coming up very shortly. We already spoke with John Aguilera, who was an all-state linebacker back in the 70s. The Novaks are due to join us as well. And then, of course, we're in East Chicago Central. The boys basketball team had a great year. We're scheduled to line up with some key people throughout that program after a phenomenal season right now. And just all in all, just super excited to be here.
Yes, I'm telling you what, for everyone out there listening at home, I mean, we're glad that you're here listening, but you want to, we're open till 9 here at the Goodfellows Club. So if you want, come here right here on East Chicago, right here by Indianapolis Boulevard here. You can have a great time here tonight.
And we are getting set for our first guest of the day. Yeah. And we're right here on the Region Sports Network. Coach is in the house. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
And the first off, just want to check in. How are you feeling as of late? You feeling better?
I'm doing okay. I had some medical issues last year, but I'm on the road back doing pretty good.
Awesome.
We're grateful to have you here today, Coach. I want to start and ask you about your time here at East Chicago and your experiences there at East Chicago Roosevelt.
Well, it was a fun time. It was a different time of history, obviously. It was a good place. East Chicago was a good place to grow up in. People were good. I had great coaches, great teachers. I was real happy being here.
What neighborhood did you grow up here in East Chicago?
I grew up on the south side, 151st and Railroad, and hung out at Kosciuszko Park all the time, and it was good.
What are some of your favorite memories growing up here?
I had a lot of great memories. A lot of them sports-minded. In the summers, we all played Elks or Kiwanis baseball. I had a lot of great memories here. A lot of good people.
I want to talk to you about your coaching career. You have touched so many lives throughout just the greater Northwest Indiana community. When you look back, what is the biggest thing you took away from being a coach and being a father figure to so many young men and young people throughout this
The
era?
Relationships, those never leave you. Wins and losses are a part of the game. Relationships are what makes it good. And so I started coaching in Munster 1973. I still stay in contact with some of those kids that I coached my first team. So we had great relationships, both the kids and their parents and the community.
Well, why is being a figure for young people so important? Why is it important to have role models like yourself?
Because they need something to measure up to. And there's got so many people pulling me in different directions, some good, some bad. They need somebody to kind of reel them in once in a while. And, in my opinion, coaching is more than football or basketball or what else. It's getting them after practice, getting them off and say, okay, how's your life going? Mom and dad, how are they doing? You got somebody in your family who's ill. Those types of things. They need somebody to lean on outside of many times there's not much relationship at home. Somebody they can lean on to, give them help, do whatever they can do.
I want to talk to you a little about, you talked about going from East Chicago to Munster, and that pipeline is a very big one over the years. Can you talk about moving from East Chicago to Munster?
Well, I got out of high school in 1968, went to a place called Augustana College, had a great career there. My quarterback was a guy named Kenny Anderson. He played for the Bengals for about 18 seasons. Great guy. And so when I graduated in 1972, it was the tail end of the Vietnam War. And so teaching jobs were almost impossible to find. So I graduated in 72, started summer school at Purdue Cal in that summer to get my teaching license. Went through student teaching the fall of 73 and got done with student teaching in January. And from that point in January to August, all I did was try to I applied for 50 different teaching jobs, from Joliet to you name it, wherever, trying to get a job. Finally got a teaching job about a week before the football season started. And I got it because during my student teaching, I had wrestled in high school and college, and they asked me if I'd help them start a wrestling program at Kaler Middle School. They'd never had one. I said, sure. So I started that, and I got hired at Munster because they needed a football wrestling guy. And I got hired by a guy named John Friend, legendary coach in Indiana. A great person, great friend. That's how I got hired on. And so I didn't choose to move there just because I wanted to coach there. I had to get a job, and I would have taken a job anywhere.
Well, what is that process? You said 50 different jobs you applied for. What does that process teach you about yourself? Like, what did you learn about, like, just the job market and entering the real world when you're doing that type of process?
You have to. It's like life. You got to stay after it. And there's going to be bumps in the road along the way. You got to just persevere and keep going. And as you go through life, you'll find out there's lots of things in life. Unfortunately, I had two sons. Both of them have passed away. You go through that experience. My youngest son was ill. Wasn't supposed to weigh 1.5 pounds when he was born. Wasn't supposed to live 6 hours. He made it 13 years. Great little guy. So you just got to keep going. And winning and losing in athletics, the thing you play on a Friday night, and you might lose on Friday, but by Saturday you got to be looking at the next game because you got an opportunity in 7 days to redo things again. And so that's kind of the way life is goes. So that's kind of been my wife and I. We've been through a lot, but you got to persevere and keep going. And I think athletics teaches that.
What was it like coaching with and under John Friend?
John Friend was one of the finest coaches and finest men I've ever been around. He was a very solid fundamentalist. Weren't real flashy on offense or defense. But what we did was solid. Everything we did was backed up by somebody doing it in the college or pros that we knew. We didn't just throw things in. We thought things out, talked to people, talked to coaches around the country. He taught me how to be a teacher. He taught me how to be a coach, how to care for kids. The one thing he taught me, I thought was valuable, As most coaches, you go into a job, and if you got a chance between two players, one's a sophomore, one's a senior, a lot of coaches say you play the sophomore because you're going to have him for 3 years. John Friend says we don't penalize the kid for the year he's born. Play the best kid, and if it comes down to tie, you play the older kid. He's going to be loyal to you, and you have to be loyal to them. So that's what John taught me. Also, have integrity. Don't take shortcuts. Got to have integrity.
And I know during your head coaching career as well, you're just kind of talking about community and those relationships. We have someone that we know that you have coached both the father and eventually his son as well too. How many just father-son duos have you coached during your time?
I don't know how many, but a lot. In fact, I've had some father-son grandparents.
Wow.
So that's been fun.
I'd like to go off of that. Just in particular, our sports director here, Mike Dewan, I would like to ask you about coaching him and then his father, Chris Dewan, years ago.
Chris was a tough player, played on a great team of ours, nose guard, just really, really dynamite. And then they got to coach his son, who was a top-notch kid. Now, I know he's doing well for you. High character, hard worker, doing real well. So I enjoyed those.
Why do you think everyone, it seems like the father, the son, and I know you mentioned the grandfathers too, it feels like you've truly built, during your time there, a family culture. And I know you talked about being a father figure. Why do you think so many people enjoyed playing for you? Why do you think a lot of guys want to have their sons and eventually their grandchildren play for you too?
Because my wife and I figured this out. You got to love the kids you're playing for. You got to legitimately care about them, not just everybody wants to care about the star quarterback. You got to be the third, in our thinking, the third string left tackle is just as important to the star. You got to treat them all alike, and that's education. And you shouldn't be in education if you don't like kids and you don't care about them. So that's kind of what we do.
How has your wife helped you throughout your entire career?
No, she's a rock. She's over there tickets right now.
I always see her with you. Every time I'm able to see her in public, I'm always able to see her, and it's been.
Well, this is her 50th year of being the press box hostess, taking care of the press box. Before we got married, and I went to engagement, I asked her, okay, I'd like you to marry me, but can you marry a football coach? Because that's what I'm going to do. And she says, as long as I can be part of it, she said, I'd be love to do that. And so she's always been a part of anything we do. When I first started out, before all the fancy computers and stuff, a good Saturday night at our house was a projector, 6 rolls of tape, film, and breaking down. She did all my tendency charts for me with a bowl of popcorn. So that's where we started.
That is incredible.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And how many years have you guys been together now?
We've been together. We were married in 1972. We dated 6 years before we got married.
Wow. So we're over 50 years. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Wow, Coach, I want to ask you just a little bit here about some of the players here in East Chicago. I know it's almost hard. It's like thinking of, almost asking, who's your favorite kids to rank to an extent. But who are some of your favorite players that you could name in East Chicago football history?
I kind of hesitate with favorite anything or best because you hurt people's feelings. East Chicago, and you saw some of these listings there, had so many great players when I was there. I remember my sophomore year, we took second in the conference. Usually we won the first. But the team that took second in the conference, they had 7 Division I players on that team. That's what we had. 2 go to Oklahoma, 2 go to Michigan State, 1 go to Illinois. We had them everywhere. So the talent in East Chicago was incredible during that time. So I had a lot of favorite players. There's a name on the wall up there, Kuziak. Joe Kuziak was a nose guard of ours. Played Oklahoma, tough as nails. So we had a lot of great players like that. So I hate to pick anybody out, but there's a lot of them.
Beyond just talent, what's the underlying characteristic of anyone, for those who may not have lived the days when East Chicago was as dominant, you were saying. What was an underlying characteristic of all those teams?
Blue collar work ethic. They treat you. You had to be really tough physically and mentally. Coaching at that time was different. That came out. The coaching at that time came out of the Bear Bryant era. Don't drink water during the games. If I did coach that way, I'd be in jail. But I remember it was just very difficult. If you broke a rule, you bent over and they swatted you, gave you swats. So that was a different time. But the people in East Chicago at that time were all different ethnic, Italian, Polish, everything. They had that blue-collar, hard, steel mill work ethic. And so kids had to be tough. And we weren't, my senior year, if I tell you the rules, you would not believe it. I lived a mile away from the high school. We weren't allowed to ride in the car with anybody but your parents.
Okay.
Those types of things. So it was different.
To finish us off here, Coach, I want to ask you one final thing about what does it mean to be here at the East Chicago Hall of Fame? What does it mean to you?
Oh, I'm very proud because if you look at the other names there, a lot of great players, and I'm not sure I belong in that group, but I'm very proud to be it. They've done a great job. Bill Soika, who runs this thing, they've worked really hard to get it going. But East Chicago Hall of Fame could go forever, and we could have one of these things every year and have people to put in. And I heard you guys talking before with Chris, some of the great players and people came through here. That's not even half of them.
All righty, Coach. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate all the great stories. It's great to see you again. Glad to see you're doing well.
Good luck for you guys, and I hope you hang in there.
Will do. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Coach.
so much. We'll take a quick break, our first of the night. You're watching a special presentation of the 2026 Dogs and Suds East Chicago Hall of Fame fundraiser on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I'm Lake County Deputy Chief Edward Jenkins, and I'm ready to be your next sheriff. This race comes down to one simple choice: experience or uncertainty. I bring 30 years of real experience inside the Lake County Sheriff's Department, working every level from civilian staff to command. I don't need time to learn the job. I'm ready to lead on day one. While others make promises, I'm already doing the work. I've trained with our officers using advanced simulation, preparing for life or death moments where the right decision can save a life. As sheriff, I'll make sure every officer is ready before that moment comes. I don't just talk about the jail. I constantly show up, listening to correctional officers and fixing problems, because safety isn't a slogan, it's a responsibility. I've seen what compassion can do through animal control, saving abused and abandoned pets. I will protect our no-kill mission and keep giving those animals a second chance. And when it comes to mental health and bullying, these aren't political issues. They're personal. Families are suffering. Kids are struggling. Doing nothing is not an option, and I won't accept it. This campaign isn't about politics. It's about people. It's about safety. It's about trust. I'm Edward Jenkins, proven experience, real leadership. Vote Jenkins Sheriff on May 5th. Thank you.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Stratford-Manteau was voted Best of the Region in 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, food and grocery delivery, fried chicken, place to buy produce, place to buy seafood, loyalty program, and grocery store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratton Mantel.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Tonight's coverage of Dogs and Suds has been made possible by Ed Jenkins, candidate for Lake County Sheriff. To find more about Ed's campaign, visit votejenkinssheriff.com. Calvin and Zach Miller, 2 I's, 2 L's with you here at Dogs and Suds. That was a fun conversation with Coach.
It's always great to be able to speak with Coach Marsh. I mean, truly one of the best minds and really historians of region sports here in our area that we're able to. Anytime we're able to connect with him, it's truly a blessing.
Really was. So many fun conversations. I love the characteristics. It's blue collar. It was toughness, and that describes here. And these are traits that you still see through so many athletes that come out of the region. And you know, current athletes that we cover, they have parents, they have grandparents, great-grandparents, even then for some of them, who played here and played around neighboring schools, so they understand those characteristics, and we see that so much now in the region football game.
Yes, in Northwest Indiana, really, you can't go far or can't really go much of anywhere when you're talking about roots and where people come from without mentioning East Chicago. Everybody has somebody, it feels like, that comes here from East Chicago, from any of the different neighborhoods, from the different schools, and it's always that. It's always a common characteristic when you say, I'm from East Chicago. It's always blue collar, hard work, incredible dedication and commitment. I mean, those are things that, like you said, people have taken that from here in East Chicago, which, by the way, still very much remains.
Yeah.
And they've taken that foundation and applied it to other towns and cities and programs. And we see it all over. When you see some of the best schools, some of the best programs here in Northwest Indiana, it's no surprise when you look at where some of them have come from, or them or their parents or something. A lot of them come here from East Chicago.
Well, it's a cliche adage of so many coaches will say, hey, we want you to be tough, and we want people, when they open up the program and see what your name is and where your school and what school you went to, we want them to say, oh, that makes sense. That's why that kid plays so hard. That's why that kid is so tough. Or that's why X characteristic or Y characteristic matters. It's a real thing. It really is.
Yes, and tell you what, it's really it's developed through culture. It's developed through upbringing. It's developed through instilled toughness, and instilled dedication to it, because it doesn't just happen by accident. There's a dedication saying, okay, this is what we're going to be, and we're going to keep developing it, and we're going to keep hammering in on it. And East Chicago does that better than anybody, I'd argue.
I'd wholeheartedly agree with that. As people continue to file in behind us, your dinner being served.
You catch any of the hot dogs?
I did. It was very good.
Skipped out in the Suds thus far. Diet Pepsi, no shout out though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that was pretty good. But I'll tell you what, the hot dogs, that's pretty good. But I must admit to our crowd here behind the scenes, he put some ketchup on that hot dog, and he tried to defend it, saying, well, it's not a Chicago dog. We're in East Chicago, all right? That's enough of it. You can't be putting ketchup on that, man.
Well, I will say this. I have a very specific rule, and my rule is simple. If I'm ordering a true Chicago dog, no ketchup, never. I'm going to like a Portillo's or a place like that, I'm never getting ketchup on my dogs there. But
I hope not.
In this setting, why not?
Well, I mean, if you insist, I don't know. I think we could agree to disagree here. But I'll tell you what, you can't do wrong here. We'll just do we'll call it an East Chicago dog, or maybe I won't disrespect it like that.
Yeah, I don't know. As we now have a new guest joining us here at the table at Dogs and Suds. How are we doing?
Doing well, man. Just taking it easy. thank God it's Friday, right?
Yes, that's how we're feeling. Thank you so much, Coach Danis, for joining us. I know you were able to join us for a few games here this past season
Yes.
on Region Sport. It's great to see you back here. I want to ask you first about your connection with Calumet College St. Joseph. What do you do there, and how has the off-season been thus far?
Defensive coordinator, DB coach. I'm also the head coach of women's flag football. And that's been a wonderful thing. We're growing. We had a couple visits this week and having some young ladies commit to us, and we'll be having some signings here pretty soon. So that's basically my job at Calumet College. I'm football. That's it.
That's awesome. And I want to stay on the flag football for a moment because I know it's been a big push throughout the country, the NFL, and now especially at the collegiate level. Why is it so important that women have opportunity to play football at a collegiate and eventually a professional level, which is what it appears the trackway appears to be heading?
I think it's very important for anybody to have that type of opportunity, and for them now to open those doors for the young ladies, I think it's just absolutely wonderful to see the passion that these young ladies have, the drive, and the things that they would like to go out and accomplish. It's just a beautiful thing to see. So for me to be a part of it and our inaugural team and things of that nature, it's just an honor and a privilege to be in this position. So like I say, I think that it's just a wonderful thing to give somebody an opportunity that they normally didn't have before, and to just see how the game will grow and flourish from there.
I gotta ask, how is the recruiting process like for girls flag football? Because not every team has a program, for one. 2, where are you getting people from? And 3, if they haven't played flag football yet, are you recruiting from different sports? I mean, what is the pitch like?
It's all over the place, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm happy that you said it like that. I recognize athletes, and I don't care what it is that you've played before. I could teach you how to play the game when you get to me. So it's just utilizing and finding who the athletes are, their interests, and selling yourself, selling the school, building a relationship, building the camaraderie. It's also pretty cool to get really close with the parents and learning, about them as people and growing those relationships. And I think that you couple all those things together. I mean, that's what makes the recruiting process what it is. And I'm enjoying it. Have
you had to convert? Has there been someone you've converted yet from a different sport?
Yes, I have a young lady who's Bree Palmer. Our first signee actually was a wrestler.
Wrestling, okay.
She wrestled. She never played flag football before. She was interested, and she trusted the process, and she was our first signee. And I'm truly elated, and I can't wait to get to work with her.
That's awesome. Now to go to the flag for the sprint football we have now, soon to be regular football, you can say, for Calumet College.
Yes,
I mean, can you talk a little bit about that transition? Really the news at this point, the announcement. How are you feeling? How did the team react? And what has it been since then?
I think that it's a great thing that's happened. It's talking about the expansion of football here in Northwest Indiana. I think that it now gives people an opportunity to reach out to a place closer, instead of going 2-3 hours this way, 3-4 hours south, 2-3 hours north. You're in a vicinity where you actually have a program there. I think it's going to be exciting for the area to have a college football team here, for people to get behind and to see some region ball, and then also try to keep those guys here instead of other places in the state. So I think it is an exciting thing. It's showing that Calumet College is trying to grow and excite the region. So. Yeah.
I know you guys had a couple of key seniors on last year's team,
oh, man.
And I know, how has it been the process of, I don't want to say rebuild because of how great your program is. How has it been almost retooling the roster throughout this offseason and through this spring at this point?
I'm going to miss those guys, man. I love each and every one of those seniors. I got in there in the middle when they were sophomores, and I was there for 2 years with them. And we've been through some tremendous things together, and, it was a sour taste toward the end, but I think as a staff we did a great job of making sure that we worked with our underclassmen as well to make sure that they were equipped and understood what their jobs were and what they were supposed to do when their opportunity came. And I think this spring we saw a lot of uptick as far as that's concerned, guys understanding the system, moving around, doing the things they're supposed to do. So it's tough losing those guys. I mean, all Americans, all conference guys, or whatever it is. But I think as a staff we did a great job of making sure that they the underclassmen were coming up and learning and developing as well.
Coach, I want to connect a little bit here to your connection here with East Chicago. You were a great running back at EC Central.
I appreciate that.
I want you to tell me a little bit about your time there at EC Central, some of your favorite memories and things you remember there, and honestly, your connection now as a coach to the city.
Well, I graduated in 2005. I came in 2001. I actually came in right after two greats. I'm going to call them out, Dante Smith and Keon Jackson. Those guys were phenomenal. They actually went into Chesterton, and they were ranked number 5 in the state, and they actually won that sectional game at Chesterton. We remember that as kids, and just to come right behind those guys and to have my own pretty decent career, I thought that was beautiful. I guess my greatest memory that I can remember is my senior year, my last carry. My brother handed me off the ball, and I scored a touchdown. That was the last time I touched the ball. My brother was the one that handed me the ball. So that's a beautiful thing. But full circle, being a coach now, looking and seeing that these young men and young ladies are, in the same position, come from the same area that I come from, and seeing the drive and, the passion and the want from each and every one of them it's great to see, and it also gives me an opportunity to bring them into the fold and see if it works out. So it's just been beautiful all the way around. I can't complain at all.
What does an event like this mean to you?
Oh man, it's family. Usually when you come to an event like this, every person in here. Either from the neighborhood, newspaper, seeing someone having conversations, whatever it is. A familiar face in East Chicago is a familiar face. So it's a wonderful thing, big time.
If there's anything to people out there listening, asking you, hey, what does it mean if they had to go to one or a couple things about being from East Chicago? What does it mean to you?
Oh, man. It's competition, man. Being in a small area, you got 12 spots on varsity, but you have about 8-9 communities where it's 5 to 10 guys that's trying to get out there on the team. It's competition. It's bragging rights. It's community versus community, but when we all get together and we're all moving towards a common goal, you see the whole city come out to make sure that they're a part of it. So that's the beautiful part of being from East Chicago. It's competition, but it's also when everybody's on the same page and we're moving, you see the passion and the love from everybody. So that's the beautiful thing, yeah.
All right, my final question to you. I know you touched upon the memory of your brother handing you that football there in your final game. Before high school, though, what was your favorite memory of growing up here?
Oh, man. I don't know. It's a couple of them, but I will say I remember the 96 Olympics.
Okay, yeah.
And the torch being passed through East Chicago, coming down Columbus Drive. And I remember watching that event, standing on the corner. And, I'm still in awe of it now, being a couple years later. And to notice that the Olympic torch came through East Chicago, it's just, I don't even know how you put that into words. But that's one of my fondest memories of East Chicago for sure.
A lot of greatness been passed through here in East Chicago, and that's one of them. I want to thank you so much, Coach Danis, for giving us some time and talking to us here on this
appreciate it, fellas.
night.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll be right back here after a commercial break here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana-Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
We welcome you back here to tonight's coverage of Dogs and Suds, which has been made possible by Edward Jenkins, candidate for Lake County Sheriff. To find out more at Edward's campaign, visit votejenkinssheriff.com. Jim Kokel joins us right now, Bishop Knoll grad from the 70s. First off, thanks so much for being with us. What does an event like this mean to you?
Well, it's nice to see everyone, and it's nice to be part of the group. You know, it's clearly an honor to be here and to be part of it all. So,
how is it to represent Bishop Knoll here at the East Chicago Hall of Fame?
Say that again?
How is it to represent Bishop Knoll here at the East Chicago Hall of Fame?
Oh, it's nice that they include us in it, right? So I was happy that a number of grads from Knoll are in the Hall of Fame, and we're all, East Chicago guys. So it means a lot to us. It means, I know that when I was going in grade school, I thought I was going to be going to Roosevelt. So it wasn't until probably the last couple weeks before school started, my mom was like, "No, you're going to Knoll." And I had a lot of my friends went to Roosevelt, and I'm like, "Oh, I was wanting to go to Roosevelt." She goes, "No, you're going to Bishop Knoll." And luckily, because Knoll was about a block from my house, so I could wake up late and get to school still on time, which was nice. I told my kids and then my grandkids, I said, I went to grade school and high school, and I never rode a school bus. And they didn't believe me. And I'm like, seriously, I walked to grade school, and then I walked to high school. And the only time we got on a bus is if we had an away game for basketball. That was the only time I was on a school bus. So that was kind of nice to be able to walk to school.
See, that's what makes it wonderful, being able to be in that community, be in the neighborhood. What neighborhood did you grow up in, and what were some of your favorite memories there growing up?
I grew up on the south side of East Chicago, 149th and Walsh, so pretty close to the Hammond border. And, growing up as a kid, those were the days. It's unfortunate the kids today don't know what it was all about. The beautiful thing was, and we joke about this all the time, all our friends were like, we'd wake up and we would go outside, and we never came back until the street lights came on, the whole street lights, be home by the street light. And we never went home to get food or anything. We would just go to one of the local stores and get a bag of chips. We'd split a bottle of pop or something and drink out of the water, out of the water hose. But man, what great days, great memories. And when we get together with some of our, childhood friends, we just talk about all the great stuff that we did. We play all kinds of sports. We play in the alley, or we play at Kosciuszko Park or whatever. Be playing baseball, basketball, football, soccer, volleyball. Everything we would just do outside all the time. And then, of course, when the weather was bad, one of the favorite games we used to play was Risk. I don't know if you've heard of that game, Risk. But we would spend hours playing Risk, so that was another
awesome.
one.
We just had Sam Daniels on a few minutes ago, and he described just East Chicago as a whole as just one giant family or brotherhood.
Yes.
Why do you think it has been to that point where everyone knows everyone, and everyone truly, it's a giant family, people who grow up in East Chicago and live in East Chicago? Why is it such a family atmosphere here?
I think we all were actually all on the kind of the same economic levels, and we all appreciated and valued everything that we had, but no one was judged by what you had or what you didn't have. We all were, scrappers, hard workers, all our friends, we all know what it was like. We valued money, and we worked things out when we didn't agree with certain things, and everybody just looked out for everybody. We all got along, and it wasn't until actually I got inducted into the Hall of Fame that I didn't realize how many amazing athletes were in the neighborhood. I started learning about, I didn't know that person was All-State. I didn't know that person got drafted. I didn't know that person was playing in the major leagues. I mean, it was just like, that's Joe down the street. That's just Joe. Yeah, he's pretty good, And then you find out, full ride scholarship somewhere, and you're like, I never even knew that, So, but yeah, I think there was just a lot of unity and amazing athletes. So you get a pickup game of anything. It was mad. I mean, it was full out.
In a place like East Chicago, it feels like you say, you just go down the street. It's like, that guy's going there for D1. It's like in East Chicago, with a place like the sports history it has here, it's just the norm. I want to talk a little bit about Bishop Knoll and you playing there, 76th grad, and that 75 season going undefeated. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but when we were freshmen, we were 0-9. So I'll never forget, we took a bus ride all the way out from Knoll to Lake Central. And when we got there, we were just amazed at the facilities that they had. And we just got blasted, just blasted. And on the way home is a long bus ride, obviously, you can imagine. And Greg Cataldi and I were sitting together in the back of the bus, and we just looked at each other, and we were like, we just started laughing because it was like, this was like one of the worst seasons you could possibly have. In the last game, the farthest from Knoll, and we get killed, and you're just like, oh my gosh. But I tell you, I tell the story all the time to my kids. I coach a lot of teams, and I tell them the same story. Look, no matter where you end up, especially if you don't win a game, it motivates you. We were like, oh no, this is not going to happen to us. So we worked our butts off for 3 years and got to where we got to, 10-0. So talk about, guts and determination and commitment and discipline and desire. We did it. I mean, we all trained, and a lot of people, including myself, played other sports, right? But in the summers, we did a lot of running and a lot of lifting. And, back then, you'd have a handful of loose weights or something. It's not like today.
Right.
So we would try to get as much weight as we could, loose weights and bars so that we could do some lifting. But it's quite an accomplishment. I'm very proud of what we were able to do. And us as a team, we had some amazing athletes. And we weren't the biggest team out there, but I tell you what, we were fast and we were strong. We had Brian Whiteside on our team and Michael Payne. Those guys were state qualifiers in track. I mean, they could burn. And, we just had tough, rugged, no-nonsense kind of guys that would go out there and put it out on the line every single play, every game. Yeah, so it was quite an experience.
All righty. Well, we thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the rest of this event. I know, obviously, we've talked to so many people already. It's such a fun event. So we thank you so much for taking time away from some former friends and some new ones as well to join us.
Cool.
We'll take a brief break here on tonight's stream, which is co-sponsored by attorney Lonnie Randolph of East Chicago, right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Welcome back, everybody, here on the Region Sports Network. Cab Later, Zach Miller, and our guy, Coach Jay Novak's in the house, everybody. Coach, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. What is this event, and what does this event really mean to you and to this community?
First of all, obviously my roots back to East Chicago. They go back to as a little boy. Getting a chance to watch Tony Harris, play, and he was, as a kid, Coach Fabian, he was obviously a family friend, but he was coaching on the staff. And, I remember getting my first autograph from him. And, he went to the University of New Orleans, went on to play pro ball. So that's where I captured the joy first, right, East Chicago. And I always said to myself, this is a special place. They combine the schools. And, I had an opportunity to interview for the job. I was here as an assistant for 5 years prior to, loved it. Went on to Clark for 2 years and then made my way back. And it'll always have a special place in my heart. We did a lot of great things, and there's a lot of great husbands and fathers that I get to enjoy, kind of track them on social media. And like I said, it just means a whole lot to me. And as far as being a part of I'm the vice president of East Chicago Hall of Fame, so being able to continue to give back, and we're trying to really honor those guys. We know we got guys to get in here. It's tough because there's a ton of talent, from way before me, and you probably been interviewing guys that are telling you about those stories, and we're eager to hear from those guys and add to our Hall of Fame.
When did you decide to start serving on the board here for the Hall of Fame? And really, what inspired you more than just, of course, you say how much you love East Chicago, but what really was that kickstart for you?
Bill Soika approached me and he said, we used to run these Dogs and Suds as a football team, for our football program. And, he said he'd been to a couple events and he's like, man, it's a great event. Brings people together. Obviously the politicians are running. They want their advertisement. And, we also appreciate their support. And, it kind of became a partnership. And those are things that he was looking for. What's up, babe? That he was kind of looking forward to, bringing people together. And, years past we've been able to induct a few people. And, like Holzback and Aguilera, we can go on and on and on, Coach Monroe, including myself. I to this day, I'm still honored. I had no vote in this thing, and I kept telling these guys, man, there's a million guys that deserve this. But very honored to be a part of that. My assistant coach, Coach Daniels, we want to get him a little more involved. He was inducted last year, along with, again, a great class. And, right now we're trying to raise some money so we can continue to add to the class, so the Hall of Fame.
And I think what you just said, there's so many people worthy of being inducted to this Hall of Fame. Just speaks to the level of talent and just how many great athletes have come through Chicago in this part of the region.
Yeah, I mean, heck, like I said, ever since I was a kid on the way through, I mean, you could talk about guys like K'Wan Short to Moore to, I mean, you can go on and on and on. Monica Maxwell. I'm missing about 5,000 people, but there's a ton of talent here. There's a lot of people that need to be recognized, and we're looking forward to doing that.
I want to dive into the offseason so far with CCSJ. We have a chance to talk with your assistant earlier about how much fun he's been having with the new crop of talent you guys have on top of his now women's flag football duties. For you, though, how's this offseason been?
The guys, they're really excited because for the last 4 years we've had compliments, guys come in, and guys have, we've had All-Americans and all-conference guys that, that they don't know it now, but they're probably going to be in the CCSJ Hall of Fame one day. I mean, number one, we started football there to winning the first 2 championships there, 2 conference titles. Then we have 38 All-Americans. I mean, we go on and on and on, which, again, is a tribute to those guys. They work hard. They work everything. They put everything into it. And those guys have left, and we had a very talented freshman class last year that a lot of these dudes didn't even get on the field. We get them on special teams, but as far as offense or defense, they probably could have been in another program and been thriving, right? And this is their opportunity to do it. They also know that, what they've seen and what, they endured last year, they want better. The end was not right. I mean, hats off to St. Mary's. They beat us, and those guys got that fire in their belly right now, and they're working hard, and we're going to go see what we could do.
Coach, after this season, you're going to be transitioning to regular football rather than sprint football. I want to ask, how is the recruiting like for not just that, but like both the combination of how much success you've had in sprint football and then the transitioning to the other version of football? What is the recruiting like with those two combined?
It's been, I get this question a lot. Coach Marsh and I were just talking for about 45 minutes, which, he's a mentor to me. He's a guy that, side note, when I was an 18-year-old young man going into coaching, I go, Coach, what's your advice on how I can get these guys together and further my coaching career? And he says, well, you take that damn earring out of your ear, they'll take you serious, right? So ever since then, he had my attention, obviously, and he's a legend, right? But as far as, everything goes back to it, it's the recruiting game as far as NAIA goes. Dude, I'm getting a ton of people following me right now from the region that normally wouldn't give me a time of day. I got coaches that, are like, hey, I might have a guy for you. Now I don't blame them. I'm not upset with them at all because what is sprint football, right? It's relatively new. When we got there at Calumet, we had to, sell our building, sell the sport of sprint football, sell our brotherhood, our standards, right? Excuse me. And it's a whole lot to you look around and a lot of sprint programs are folding, right? One of the reasons we're leaving, it's because we need football at Calumet College, and we need the students. We need the tuition, right? It's a business, right? And so we made that decision. Dave Lopez, our athletic director, was a big time spearhead in this thing. And he's like, what do you think? What do you think? And, we've been together every step of the way. And, we know it's going to be a heck of a transition. As far as the recruiting goes, it's kind of neat to talk to these big, like I got a guy 6'8", about 305. He's a Haitian guy from Indianapolis I'm talking to. It's neat, and I got a guy out of 6'5", 305 out of Arizona, that are all-state players that are looking for an opportunity. We're going to find those dudes up front, offensive and defensively. We got some guys we know that are pretty good at skilled guys, and we're going to give it a shot. We're going to go out there that first year, and we're going to learn. There's going to be ups and downs. We know that. But we're going to find the formula. We're going to figure it out.
How excited are you for this challenge?
Fired up, man. Like, you guys talk about sprint football. You talk about, and to me it's always been the same, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going to get hit over the head. I got a lot of people saying, hey, you're about to go into the meat grinder. I understand what we're getting into. I know there's going to be hard days, right? But you can't be afraid of that, man. That's part of the growing process. We need to get hit in the mouth, right? And we just need to figure that stuff out so we can grow and continue to get better, right? So,
Coach, I want to ask you, with that mindset of going in, we're going to go in the meat grinder, we're going to get it out. How is that East Chicago mindset going into that? How much does that make you into that?
East Chicago prepared me for where I'm at today. The ups and downs, the situations that you get into, that along with support from your admin, really prepared me for this because, you're starting a program and, you got to figure it's going to be the second time we start a program. So the first one was 2022, signed some kids, had a goal of 40 kids. We got 68 on there. Then we got up to 86. We kept growing this thing. Our retention rate went to 89%, which is unbelievable, right? Today's day and age, right? Everybody's sitting there going transfer portal, right? So as far as the challenge goes, we know and we don't know, right? And what we don't know, we're going to know, right? And we're going to figure the thing out. But as far as I want to start this program, and I know that starting with freshmen, building this thing, but I'm old school when it comes to that way. We built our sprint program that way. Now we will go in the portal a little bit, but I'll tell you what, okay, those guys, they better fit our standard. And if they don't, I don't want nobody else's trash. You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those deals where we can add those guys, but they got to be the right fit for our program, right, and our family.
How do you – I want to go back to the recruiting real quick. I know obviously the recruiting, you have to recruit for – well, you're finishing recruiting for this season, obviously with the portal, but also now looking forward to the new era of what your program's going to be. How have you found that balance of trying to figure out how you pitch this program where I know you're not a new program, but essentially you're kind of at ground zero again trying to build it back up. How have you found that element of recruiting been so far?
I don't want to give out all our secrets.
We don't want you to divulge.
No, yeah. Kidding aside, the big thing is this year we know it's kind of that year where it might be like that gap year, right? Well, come on up, get yourself acclimated. Let's get you in the program. Let's get you in the off season. Let's get you acclimated to college, right? And that's the main thing is getting acclimated to college. My offensive coordinator's heckling me over here. But Coach Davs. But no, that's the main thing. Get you guys acclimated. You don't lose a year eligibility, and boom, full throttle. And here's the thing. You're not waiting in front of like a bunch of juniors and seniors that have been sitting around in a program, okay? Because these rosters are big. We're not going to have that issue here. We're going to have about 100 guys, 110 guys, okay? And you got an opportunity to play, just like I tell the guys now. Our school doesn't want to get that big, okay? We're not trying to get 200 guys. Until they tell me something different, then fine, I'll go get 200 guys. So, yes, that's a selling point. You got an opportunity to get on the field right away and win a job, and that's what you're going to be able to do here at Calumet College.
Finally, Coach, I want to finish you off here with this. For all the recruits sitting here listening,
what up, baby?
Operations Manager Rich Castillo in the house showing up. Nice to see you, Rico. I want to ask you, though, for all the people, the recruits that would be listening, any potential families and whatnot, saying, why Calumet College?
The big thing is it's a small school. You're not going to get lost. There's a guy that's on the transfer portal from the region that we just signed, and I'm going to keep his name anonymous because I don't want to mess with anything going on. As far as on his end, he's ready. When he's ready to announce, you guys are going to be like, that's a pretty cool signing. So we're excited about him. But the big deal was, look, classroom size is 11-1. Think about that for a minute. That is a lot of one-on-one with your instructors, okay? All of our tutoring is done by the instructors. Not only that, you got our president, you got our vice president, you got our athletic director. the coaches, it is a huge family, okay? 85% of the students there are student athletes, okay, from all over the country, all over the world. So you're going to have a lot in common with those that you end up coming to, right? Coming to on campus. So with that, again, it's just one big family. You're going to be a rock star in the football team because we're a third of the school's population. Come get it, man. Let's go.
All righty, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having us. This is a really, really cool event. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys being here. Really do.
Of course. We look forward to following you guys along next season as well. Really excited for you and your program. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching a special presentation of the 2026 Dogs and Suds East Chicago Hall of Fame fundraiser on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I'm Lake County Deputy Chief Edward Jenkins, and I'm ready to be your next sheriff. This race comes down to one simple choice: experience or uncertainty. I bring 30 years of real experience inside the Lake County Sheriff's Department, working every level from civilian staff to command. I don't need time to learn the job. I'm ready to lead on day one. While others make promises, I'm already doing the work. I've trained with our officers using advanced simulation, preparing for life or death moments where the right decision can save a life. As sheriff, I'll make sure every officer is ready before that moment comes. I don't just talk about the jail. I constantly show up, listening to correctional officers and fixing problems, because safety isn't a slogan, it's a responsibility. I've seen what compassion can do through animal control, saving abused and abandoned pets. I will protect our no-kill mission and keep giving those animals a second chance. And when it comes to mental health and bullying, these aren't political issues. They're personal. Families are suffering. Kids are struggling. Doing nothing is not an option, and I won't accept it. This campaign isn't about politics. It's about people. It's about safety. It's about trust. I'm Edward Jenkins, proven experience, real leadership. Vote Jenkins Sheriff on May 5th. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Tonight's coverage of Dogs and Sons has been made possible by Edward Jenkins, candidate for Lake County Sheriff. To find out more about Edward's campaign, visit votejenkinssheriff.com. Well, we mentioned earlier at the beginning of our show, we had a pre-taped interview for you that we're really excited about. We're going to get set to speak with John Aguilera, who was an all-state linebacker back in the 1970s and a member of the East Chicago Hall of Fame. So without further ado, let's take it away with our interview with John Aguilera.
Welcome back to the 2026 Dog and Suds East Chicago Hall of Fame fundraiser here live on the Region Sports Network, presented by Edward Jenkins for Lake County Sheriff. I'm Zach Miller, and joining me is Kevin Malater and our special guest here, John Aguilera. John, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
John, I want to ask you, first off, you're a 1978 grad of East Chicago Roosevelt, a proud Rough Rider. Can you just start and tell us a little bit about the history there? East Chicago Roosevelt.
Okay, yeah. Well, East Chicago Roosevelt no longer exists, but what a great football school it was back in the day, and I was proud to be a part of that. I played in 1978 and actually played all 4 years in varsity. I started as a freshman on the kickoff team and really enjoyed it. And football was, something that I loved. I played it in the parking lots. We'd play in the snow. And so, and then there's a great history with East Chicago Roosevelt and many of the state championships that they had previous to us getting there. But, that was something that, I had a great high school years and enjoyed very much the competition that we got in those years.
And I know while you were a student athlete, you were in all states. So you weren't just you didn't just play for the program. You were dominant during your time there.
I loved the game
as well too,
and probably paid the price afterwards in terms of my health because I was always throwing my body at everybody, and and that's kind of the way the game was taught. Now they're getting away from that because of the concussions and everything, but we played at a time where water was scarce. We didn't get to drink water during the breaks, and I recall during the games they would actually give us salt tablets, which is really not what you're supposed to do. But that's you're talking about coaches that were coaching and had been coached by the coach from Alabama. One of our coaches was actually on his team in Kentucky, and that was just the way it was then. And so we worked hard out there, and we enjoyed playing.
What was it like being a linebacker there? I know you were telling us a little bit beforehand you played middle linebacker there for the Rough Riders. What was it like that?
I was a little bit undersized linebacker, but I was a hitter. I probably, my natural position probably would have been like strong safety. But because we didn't have big numbers in 78, my class, I don't think we had 20 kids that were from my class. And so, with the other grades, we had a very competitive teams and everything, but I don't think I rarely stepped off the field. I kicked, I didn't kick, I punted, and I played offense, I played defense, so, and I was on the kickoff teams and everything like that. So you stayed on the field pretty much the whole game, so.
Well, so many former athletes talk about what their respective sport taught them throughout their entire life. What were lessons you took away from your football playing career that you then used in your post-football life? Yeah,
I think that played a big part in my success in working, and I worked in the industry. My background is in IT. I have a computer science degree and I have a management degree, but I worked here in the mills and stuff, and teamwork, a big part of it, camaraderie, commitment to people, stuff like that. That's all a part of it. That's part of what you learn there, and you're talking about being out there sometimes when you got 90-degree weather and you're doing 2 and 3 days, and so there's a commitment that comes with some of that, and then you find some people who are talkers and some people who walk away because they're you're out there and you're working hard and you're sweating and trying to get yourself prepared to play. So
what does it mean to you to be an East Chicago Hall of Famer?
When I got put in, I was probably put in 5-6 years ago. I was just very proud because I know the history of the school, and we're known for football, and so it was something that I took very seriously, and even tried to pursue it further in college, and I ended up getting hurt in my sophomore year, but it meant everything to me really at that point in my life, and it helped me to be able to go and get an education and have the majority of it paid for. So, it played a big role in kind of launching me into, adulthood and having a lot of responsibilities because my senior year I'm captain of the team and everything. So, I take a lot from that.
And our last question for you is, what do you make of events like tonight where you get to, reunite with friends, you get to see so many other fellow Hall of Famers and just important people in the community? What does an event like tonight mean for you?
Yeah, I've enjoyed coming to them. I think I've probably been here, the last 5-6 years. And I always enjoy getting to talk with old friends, seeing new people brought to the table. That's a part of what helps to keep a community together, and have people come who used to be here and stuff. So, I have such fond memories. I had some really good players, a couple who I would say probably go up with anybody who ever played football at East Chicago Roosevelt, and one guy who was a running back. I was a fullback, and linebacker. But Roy Thomas, his legs were, I mean, honestly, he was like a smaller Earl Campbell, but his legs were so thick. And he went to Ball State, and he ended up playing a couple years and then got kind of fumbleitis or whatever. But I mean, you talk about a guy who was just really phenomenal. I can name many of them off to you. So.
Thank you so much, John, for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure
this evening. This is such a great event and a great opportunity to speak with you and so many of the other Hall of Famers here for the East Chicago Sports Hall.
My pleasure. I'd be glad to talk to you guys anytime, and thanks for inviting me over.
Yes, thank you so much. We're going to be going to a break, and we'll be right back on the 2026 Dog and Suds East Chicago Hall of Fame fundraiser here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Okay. Rough Riders. Go Rough Riders.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Stratton-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratton-Manteau.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back to Dogs and Suds here on the Region Sports Network. We are now joined by Mark Opat. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's a great cause. Excuse me. I just can't believe where the years went. You know, it's like it's been a long time, but it's good to see everything's going good and fundraisers and everything. So.
Mark, you played at East Chicago Roosevelt. You played there in the 70s.
Oh, my God. You kids weren't even around back then.
No, but I'll tell you.
We played on dirt. We didn't have AstroTurf.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. You know, talk about your time there at Roosevelt playing there. Some great years
water?
there.
You get no water back in our day.
That's been the growing theme here, is that no one has water.
No one has water. Back, they'd be, well, never mind. But it's Coach, you need some water. Take a salt tablet. But it was all good. We had a good time.
I was going to say, can you talk about some special rules you had to use during practice there? It was a little bit different playing then.
Well, one rule was that Coach Lukowski, he wouldn't let us drive. We were not allowed to drive in the car. Your parents he had something about accidents or something. I don't know what it was, but he said, so that was a crazy thing. But, yeah, it was a good time. We had a good time. So,
I want to dive deeper into the growing connection everyone talks about with East Chicago, regardless of what school they went to. Was if you grew up here, you were part of a family atmosphere. Everyone is connected in some way. What is your belief on that statement?
Well, yeah, I was on the south side, and we bonded with the north side guys, and then we crossed town there. At that time was the Chicago, Washington, the Senators. So we had that little thing, and then we had our Bishop Knoll boys back in that corner because I grew up in Southside Roxana, and I had guys that went to Knoll, and I was, South Side and North Side. So, but we all played nice. We had a good time, and no one really got hurt. But the only thing I regret was he never played Bishop Knoll.
Never played Bishop Knoll.
No, they played a year after I graduated. My other brother played, and I always wanted to do that. Yeah,
It was always about
like
bragging rights.
Catholics and convicts. Always something.
What did it mean to you to be a Rough Rider?
Oh, it was a lot. I mean, it's tradition. Brzezinski, Lukowski. I mean, it's a lot of, not heritage or whatever, guys growing up that it's just one of those things, playing for Roosevelt. It was good. It was an honor. So I had a good time.
What were some of your favorite memories growing up before you got to being a Rough Rider? What were some of your favorite memories?
Oh, God. Playing CYO football. That was interesting at that time. So growing up in the neighborhood, things were quiet, things were simple. We didn't have any, traveling teams or, what I'm talking about?
AAU. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, AAU, stuff like that. We were just simple. Whatever we could afford, we did. We had a good time, and we enjoyed it. Stayed out of trouble, and everything was good. So,
what did you play there at Roosevelt for when you're on the football team?
I was, what was I? Pretty much everything. The only time I got off the field was on kickoffs or kickoff returns. But defense, offense, we had, I don't know how many guys we had, 40, 50, but it was kind of like the 12, 15 guys that pretty much did everything out there, and we made it work, and it was all good.
Any games to you that stuck out more than any others? What were some of your favorite games?
Oh, God. Hammond Morton. Oh,
I feel the same way. I'm a Gavitt Gladiator.
Oh, Gavitt Gladiator. Oh, Little John back in the day. I don't know if you read this goes back, but Hammond High, Gavitt, Morton. Morton, we had a good time, boy. So we behaved. Everything was nice.
I want to dive further into just the high school game back when you played. Everyone talked about just blue-collar toughness. Why was that just an overwhelming theme of just all the EC schools when you were playing?
Well, that was pretty much it. I mean, at that time per se, we didn't have weight rooms. We didn't have trainers. It's just run. That's all we did. We get in shape. It made us better, and then we enjoyed it, and everyone played nice.
Finally, Mark, I want to ask you, what does it mean to be back here for the Hall of Fame fundraiser here in East Chicago?
Good. I got, 4 or 5 years ago, I was part of the program, which was not very nice, and I just can't believe where the years went. It's just like this is the 70s. I mean, now it's 2026. I'm still breathing and trying to take care of myself and seeing some of the old guys, and we're getting old, except for you guys. You guys are looking good.
No, we appreciate it. My final question for you before we let you go, to people who are watching or listening at home who don't understand the glory days of the 70s and 80s when you were playing in East Chicago growing up. How would you describe that experience to everyone?
Well, it's something where it's football, and it's a game where you got to love it. I mean, it's something, two-a-days and this and that. I'm not saying these kids nowadays don't get into it, but it's like, dang, it's like you got to love it. You got to have that mindset to play and put that strap on and let's go and so forth and so on. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. We had a good time. Didn't get hurt. We had fun. I met a lot of guys, a lot of friends that are still here. I'm coming in, so it's all good.
That's what it's all about.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
We'll let you get back to the festivities here today, and we'll take a break here on the Region Sports Network. Our live stream tonight is co-sponsored by attorney Lonnie Randolph of East Chicago, right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
There you go. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero. Crowell Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Hey, welcome back on the Region Sports Network. Kevin and Zach with you, ready to wrap up. What a fun and special night this is here in East Chicago for the Athletic Hall of Fame fundraiser. And we have to talk to so many cool people, and it's just cool to, and I know it's something we're going to hit the nail on the head on right again here. Family. That's what everyone describes this community as, one big family.
Yes, no matter what neighborhood you come from, no matter what school you've come from, we've been able to talk from people from all the high schools here in East Chicago. Everyone strikes on that same chord, Kevin. Family, community, and grit. It's those three things, and really if you want to think about and put East Chicago down to a couple words, those are the three you put it to.
Truly fun event. No inductee class this year. We obviously talked with Coach Novak. They're hoping next year we have more inductees, and that's going to be a really special ceremony because there are still so many great athletes who are knocking on the door of getting into this Hall of Fame.
Yes, and that's why, we talked about it a little bit beforehand with them. They wanted to build up the class for next year. But let me tell you, it's going to be hard to pick, say, oh, they're going to have a wrong class or something. They have so many great candidates here in East Chicago and their incredible sports history. I mean, you can't really go wrong. So I can't wait to see, Kevin, when we're back here next year, the list of inductees they have.
It's going to be truly a fun event. Hey, this was a lot of fun. Ready to go get some more hot dogs?
Oh, more. How many? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how many. I'd say however many they have left is going to be my answer. Yeah, it's been great here, man. Some dogs and some suds. So
exactly. You can never go wrong with that combination. Summer right around the corner as well. Our coverage of high school baseball and softball will continue throughout the coming weeks as the march downstate continues. Any final parting thoughts before we sign off for the night?
I want to say thank you, especially here to just Dog and Suds here at the Goodfellas Club. They've done the hospitality here was incredible. Everything we could have wanted here on the setup side, the production side, they accommodated us with open arms and saying, what do you need? What do you need? Not what do we need from you? It was incredible for them. So thank you to them. Thank you to Lonnie Randolph and Edward Jenkins, our two co-presenters tonight, for making our coverage possible. And thank you to the viewers. I mean, thank you all for watching this. You are the ones that make this possible for great events like this and all the other ones here we're able to cover around the region.
Exactly. You guys are huge in helping us support and continuing to support athletics throughout the region. So for our entire Region Sports Network crew of executive producer Chris Ramirez, our operations manager Rich Castillo, coordinated producer, hey, that's you, Zach Miller, and our sports director Mike Dewan. Our on-site crew of Zach Sinelli, Thomas March, he's been Zach Miller, I'm Kevin Malater. Special thanks to everyone at the Goodfellas Club, the East Chicago Athletic Hall of Fame, and last but certainly not least, the viewers like you at RegionSports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, and Facebook/Region Sports Nation.